Okay, so I want to do a bunch of videos to just explain some very basic theoretical things to do with music. It's not specifically instrument based, it's just music theory that you can apply on your instrument. You're probably thinking, why do I need to know theory? Well, if you want to stay at a certain level as a musician and just do little pub gigs, then I suppose you don't really need much theory. But if you wanted to venture to be a professional musician, like working in theatres or cruise ships or session playing, uh, various things, corporate events, then you need to sort of communicate with other musicians. Say a singer comes in and says, I want to do this song but in a different key. And then you're like, I can't do that. And there's very basic theory things you can do to really just understand what music's about and how it's built. And I'm going to do in these videos a very short, small snippets, just step by step, one thing a week to just help you along and give you that knowledge. So hopefully you've watched the video on the chromatic scale. That's just knowing the names of the notes. So just before you do this, go and make sure you've watched that. And I just want to clarify one more thing, is what a tone and a semitone is. So a tone is where you move up two notes. So if I'm on this A here and I move up two notes, 1, 2, that interval there is called a tone. So the distance between a note to a note, 2 jumps, is a tone. Now if I'm on this note and I move to that one, you see there's no black note. That is called a semitone. So that is just literally one note to the next available note is called a semitone. So if I was moving from here to here, that's a semitone. If I wanted a full tone, I'd have to move from there to there. So that's a tone, that's a semitone. Okay, just clarify that. Now I think most music is built from major scales, and what we're going to do is we're going to learn all our key signatures. Okay, so you can transfer. You don't want to learn everything just on the white notes. You want to be able to incorporate the sharps and flats, and everything pretty much in popular music is built around major scales. Okay, so that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how many sharps and flats are in scales. Okay, so if I was to play to you a C major scale, that is a scale that has no black notes. It's the only one. So if I start here, you should recognize this. So you should recognize the sound of that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now if I want to just start on a random different note, say if I want to start on D, I couldn't just go up them white notes and achieve that major scale. So here's my new note. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I was singing the major scale. So if I apply the white notes, listen. Do, re, mi. So some of it sounds quite off there. It's not. It doesn't sound like the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you have to incorporate the black notes to gain that major sound, that major scale sound. So no matter where you start, if you're starting on G, you notice that note doesn't sound quite right if you had to sing the major scale. Okay, so every scale apart from C has these black notes involved in it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what are the major scales and how many sharps they have in it. Okay, we're not going to learn what the sharps are yet, so I'm going to show you this very quick thing. This is your exercise for this week. So we need to establish that the key of C has no sharps. Okay, and the key of G has 1 sharp, and this is what it looks like. The key of D has 2, A has 3, E has 4, B has 5, F sharp has C. So it might be hard to just memorize that, so I'm going to show you a little way of getting to know this. So the only thing you have to do is memorize that C has none and G has 1 sharp. So I'm not telling you what the sharps are yet, that'll be for another video. We're just going to memorize these letters and how many sharps are in it. So C has none, G has 1. Now D has 2, so how do we know it's D is the next one? Okay, what you have to do is you have to look at the previous key. So not G, that's the last key, the previous one, which is C, and it is a tone up from that. Okay, so don't worry if I've lost you a bit there. So C here, a tone up from C. If I was to go back to the keyboard, see here, there's your C, a tone up, 1, 2, is D. So you can see D is a tone up from C. And that's how you work out what the next one is. So if I want to work out the next one, which is 3, the one with 3 sharps, what key is it? I look at the previous one here. So say that G here, and I go up a tone from that. So if you go up a tone from G, it would be A. See here? And then if I look at the last one, D, and if I go up a tone from that, you'd know that it was an E. And then if you look at this A here, what's a tone up from A? It is B. So you look at your last one, E, and a tone up from E is not F, it is F sharp, and I'll show you why. Because if you look at E here, there for instance, E's there, that there to F, because it's got no black note, is a semitone. So to move a tone, you've got to go to F sharp. Okay, so that's why the 6 sharp key is F sharp. Okay, so these are the keys, and these are how many sharps. So you don't know what sharps they are yet. I'm going to say that for the next video, just to remind you. So let's go through this again, and I want you to work out this equation and be able to, by the end of the week, just work out what the key is and how many sharps in it. So C has none, G has 1. So to find the next one, I'm going to look at C and I'm going to think a tone up. So it's D has 2. Then look at the previous one I'd gone, G. A tone up is A. A tone up from D is E. A tone up from A is B. A tone up from E is F sharp. Okay. So here's what you have to memorize, C and G. And with that, I can think in my head, I try and work it out with my head now without looking at anything. So C has none. C has got no sharps and flats. G has 1. So that's all you got to memorize. So C, G, and I think of the last one, what's up from C? D has got 2. What did I say before that? I said G. So one up from that is A. And work it out like that till you get to F sharp. That's all you have to do. Learn what the scale is and how many sharps are in it. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you how to work out what the actual sharps are. And then we'll do some little written exercises with the keys so you can write out the major scale with the correct sharps. So I hope that's some help. If you find this a bit difficult, just drop me a question to explain anything further. And if you find it difficult and think, oh, I can't be bothered with that, just think about it. You just got to get over this first hurdle of learning these very basics. And then everything you learn after that is just building from what we've done. So you can learn a lot of knowledge from just learning your major scale. Okay, so just learning that major scale, all your chords are within it, different scales are within it. So you can learn so much from just the major scale. So let me know how you get on. Let me know if this helps. Thanks.